I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting. Why all at once my heart took flight. I hardly know when he began to dance with me. I could have danced and danced and danced all night. So we are here to help you dance all night once you clear the backlog of all the unfinished projects. How is that?
All right.
My name is Paula Oleska. I'm a best-selling author, award-winning brain coach, and a mindset maverick. I came to the US without a penny and built a six-figure business with no contacts and no business experience. I created my proprietary modality called Brain Upgrade, and I use that to help over 5,000 people from all walks of life, both in the US and internationally. I've been traveling and speaking for over 25 years, and I speak 5 different languages, and one of them being the language of success. Today, entrepreneurs hire me to unleash their inner productivity because most are drowning in unfinished projects, long to-do lists, missed deadlines, and ineffective prioritization. Can you relate to that?
Oh, yes.
So I help them effortlessly organize, prioritize, finish projects on time, and free up the time so they can really focus on making money. Most of you want to make money, right?
Yeah.
And you know that many people out there, not the ones here, but people out there are really drowning in to-dos and unfinished projects. Most are confused, overwhelmed, and don't know where to start. And majority are trapped in a cycle of guilt and discouragement because they know they are not doing what they should be doing to be successful. It's like being trapped in a Bermuda Triangle of productivity. How many of you are familiar with that? Facebook, YouTube, cat pictures. Facebook, YouTube, cat pictures. So I know one of my clients has been complaining for a while until she got better that she was always wasting time on the internet looking at animal pictures because it made her more relaxed. So we found better ways for her to be more relaxed and also get her work done. I must say that I have been the worst when it came to time management, of course, way back in the past, because I had all kinds of interests and I wanted to do them all at once. So I was scattered and all over the place, often late, and my friends were joking that my tagline was, "It took longer than I thought." Because I could not evaluate how long things are going to take. Anybody here can relate to that?
Yeah.
So I was doing all the things that you are probably doing as well. Positive thinking, visualization, meditation, all the tools that are supposed to work, but they did not really solve my problems. I knew I had to prioritize, but still everything felt urgent and everything had to be done right away. So many things didn't get done. Again, can you relate to that?
Mm-hmm.
So I kept looking for new tools, and eventually I found some amazing tools that had to do with how your brain is organized. And based on that, I can tell you that procrastination, overwhelm, distraction, and all of that stuff, it's not your fault. I think you'll be happy to hear that, and I'll explain to you why in a moment. And I'll be, is it okay with you if I use my notes?
Yes.
Because first of all, I want to stay on track and not miss any important information. And second of all, my mind is so full of information from other speakers, I'm afraid I will slip into talking about endocrinology.
Go girl.
So based on my discovered tools, which I've been using myself for 25 years, I promise that I will provide you with new understanding and 3 keys to understanding why things have not been working and how you can make them work. You will walk away with 3 of those new understandings and with 2 practical activities you can do anytime to end procrastination and move on with your projects. And I'm also going to give you an opportunity to see if I can support you from here on. And I want to tell you a little story, which I need to read. So the following is a transcript of the actual radio conversation of a US naval ship with the Canadian authorities off the coast of Newfoundland. Canadians, please divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid a collision. Americans, recommend you divert your course 15 degrees to the north to avoid collision. Canadians, negative, you will have to divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid collision. Americans, this is the captain of the US Navy ship, and I say again, divert your course. Canadians, no, I say again, you divert your course. Americans, this is the aircraft carrier USS Lincoln, the 2nd largest ship in the United States. And we are accompanied by 3 destroyers, 3 cruisers, and numerous support vessels. I demand that you change your course 15 degrees north. I say again, that's 15 degrees north. Or countermeasures will be undertaken to ensure the safety of the ship. Canadians, this is a lighthouse. It's your call.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Many of you
That's awesome.
on a collision course and arguing for the things that you are doing that are not working. So today I'm going to help you get on the right course and do the things that will help you get things working.
Awesome.
So the first thing to understand is that you are stuck in something I call the common learning paradigm. Can we say it together?
Common learning paradigm.
Thank you. So to explain it, I will use a visual.
Why that's not common? Yeah. It's 2 N's. And an N and learning.
So the common learning paradigm assumes that your mind, and this little person here is frowning because he has to focus really hard to absorb information and has to really pay attention to all the details and make sure that everything goes in. So it's a lot of hard work. And let's see, I think that we need to draw another picture because the common learning paradigm doesn't understand. I think I'll do that in gestures instead. That the part of your brain that takes in information is not the same part of the brain that takes action. So let's do that together. Are you willing to play with that?
Yes.
Okay. So the part of the brain that takes in information is not the same part that takes action. Okay? And you can let go of that. But what really trips you up is not only that they are not connected, but the action part does not respond to words. Does that explain a lot?
Yes.
This is why it's so hard to talk yourself into doing something or not doing something. How many of you had the experience that you promised yourself that you'll go to the party, but you will not take this piece of cake? And then you somehow found yourself eating the cake, right?
The pie.
Right. Or you promise yourself that you'll get up in the morning and you'll right away start making phone calls. And then it just somehow doesn't happen, right? And that's not because there's something wrong with you, and it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's just because those parts of the brain are not connected. So being trapped in the common learning paradigm, it's like the school for animals that required that all animals have to have the same curriculum. So animals in the forest wanted to become more educated because they felt inferior. And they got together and decided to start a school. And they said that to make everybody equal, all animals will have to follow the same curriculum. So in the beginning, that sounded really exciting. But there was this little bunny. The little bunny was very excited to go to school and came back from the first day elated because he got an A in hopping and running. So he was very excited to go to school the second day, and he came back depressed because he got a C in climbing trees. So he still wanted to go to school, and the teachers drilled him on climbing trees, and he wasn't getting any better. The teachers told him he had no motivation, he was not working hard enough, and then because he got discouraged and didn't want to go to school anymore, they also told him he was a procrastinator. How does that sound? Familiar? So this is what it feels like when you're working with the common learning paradigm. And that makes people very discouraged. I remember that I got a call from a woman who was an attorney, and she had a high-level position with a large company. And despite of that, she felt inferior, and she felt that there was something wrong with her because her work was piling up, she was not following up on her ideas, and she felt she was getting discouraged, and she felt like she wasn't as ambitious as those other women who lean in and become successful. So she was very relieved when I told her that she was trapped in the common learning paradigm, and we just need to organize her brain. So, but still, the common learning paradigm is something that you'll find everywhere whenever you learn something. When you went to school, right? That was common learning paradigm. Just give you information and assuming you're going to just automatically learn it. How many of you went to college? How many of you took courses, programs, right? The same thing. Everybody gives you information, and I think information is wonderful. I love information. I'm an information junkie. How many of you can relate to that? But information alone doesn't solve the problem. So, is there a better way? I'm sorry to say there isn't. No, actually there is. So, introducing the new learning paradigm. So, in the new learning paradigm, you are a mind and body together. So, when you're learning something, information comes into your body as well as your mind. So you can be smiling while you're learning because it eliminates a lot of hard work. I used to be totally over-focused. I was a very good learner, but I was like this. But since I learned those new techniques, I can be like this. I can enjoy learning. And I know that I'm learning even when I'm not doing this. So I'll give you some tools to get there as well. So I've been working with these principles for 25 years, but now there is neuroscience that is catching up with us. So the most current branch of neuroscience is called embodied cognition. So can you say that together?
Embodied cognition.
What does that mean? It means cognition is all the mind functions, all the learning, all the intellectual stuff, all the thinking. That's cognition. Embodied means it comes from your body. So this is a radically new concept. And as I said, I've been working with these principles for 25 years. They make my life tremendously easier. And I have tools to solve almost any problems, which doesn't mean I don't have problems and I don't get discouraged myself, but I have tools to move forward faster. So I want to give you a quote from one of my favorite books. There's a new British neuroscientist called Guy Claxton who wrote the book Intelligence in the Flesh. My clients tell me that I should stop talking about other people's books and talk about my own books, which I didn't bring, but you can get them on my website. So I want to give you a quote from this book that supports this concept. So this is what Guy Claxton says. So where is your brain? It is all over your body. And what is your brain? It is currents of information from all corners of your body. So again, this radically changes your concept of what your brain is and how it works. Because even though the science has been out there, if you read anything about brain research, they only show you the pictures of what goes in your head. But now you know that the brain in your head is a part of the communication network that involves your whole body. So I'm going to repeat this quote again because it's so important and it's so unusual that I want you to really remember this. So where is your brain? It is all over your body. And what is your brain? It is currents of information from all corners of your body. So that changes the picture radically, because when you have a mechanical thing like an organ, you need to use certain tools. So let's say if you are trying to repair a table, then you use hammer and nails. But if you want to repair a computer motherboard, you have to use completely different tools because it's a different system, and computers work on communication. They need to communicate with the other computers, and you need to communicate with your computer. So you use very different tools. And the same thing, once you understand that your brain is a communication network, it changes the way you organize yourself, and you know that there are better ways to organize your brain. By the way, the reason I say organize your brain is because one of the conclusions I came to, well, let's see, the fundamental conclusion that I came to, based on my experience and research, is that there is only one reason, one underlying reason under everything that doesn't work. Do you know what it is? Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
It's brain disorganization. So what happens is that under stress, different parts of your brain shut down. And I think you have experienced that, because how many of you can go from being perfectly organized, lucid, clear-minded, to being scattered, forgetful, and not being able to find the right words, right? So this is how quickly brain can get disorganized and then organized back again. We've gone through that many times, but we can organize our brains faster using this new principle. If you want to use your mind, you need to engage your body. Okay, this is a new principle that I'm going to share with you in a practical way. Again, if you want to use your mind or change your mindset, you need to engage your body. And again, many of you probably had that experience already, because how many of you felt that you could think more clearly after you worked out, right? Or solved the problem after you went for a run, right? So you experientially know that, but now you have a theoretical framework to put it together. And the good news is that in order to organize your brain, you don't have to go to the gym or go for a run or leave your house or even your chair, and you can still organize your brain. So there are very simple and targeted activities we can do, and we can do them right here. How many of you would like to do them?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, so while is getting her phone,
No, just give it to me.
I'm going to get a chair, because I need a chair to demonstrate this movement.
Sorry.
See, I'm so resilient, I can bring a chair up by myself. I'm so reliant. So this is how we are going to do it. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to figure out one activity you've been procrastinating on. You don't have to share with anybody what it is. However, I will want you to role play it. Role play means you mime it. You pretend you're doing it. So let's say if you are putting off going to the gym, you will take a moment to pretend you're packing your bag, and then you pick up your bag and you go to the gym. You need to do that physically so that different circuits in your body get engaged, and then your body knows what to transform. After you've done that, while you do that, I want you to observe how it feels. After you've done that, we are going to do 2 activities that will take just a couple of minutes, and then you'll have a chance to do it again and observe how it worked. Ready?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so take a quick second to figure out what you want to role play. Okay, and now I'll take you a minute, I can time it from the clock, to role play your activity. Okay, so go ahead and do that and observe how it feels when you do that. So remember, you need to physically do it. So writing, phone call, whatever you want to do, go ahead. Of course, if you don't want to participate, that's fine too. So you can just observe the ones who do. Looks great, okay. And you didn't even have to use the whole minute. So we are going to do one exercise I call cat arches sitting down. If you've done yoga, the pattern of this exercise will be familiar, but we do it for a specific purpose in a specific way. So I want you to sit close to the edge of your chair. And I'm sitting sideways because it involves your spine, so I want you to be able to see it. So for a moment, just watch me, and then I'll guide you in doing it. So it's very important that you start with your tailbone, and you tuck your tailbone under, and then you round your spine until your head is down. But your head shouldn't be down now, because then you can't see the second part. So when you come out of this position, don't come up just into a straight posture. I want you to uncurl your pelvis, to lean over your legs, and then arch as much as you can until your head is facing the ceiling. And then you slowly reverse it. So you uncurl your pelvis into like a capital C shape, and then you roll over your legs and arch out, okay? So now go ahead and do that. Do that maybe like 4 times, and it's important to do it slowly. It's not a contest, it's not a power yoga exercise. So it's something that will help you in some ways, which I'll explain later. That looks really good. We have some beautiful cat arches.
Meow.
And Paula, we're breathing out yoga.
Breathing is optional.
You should breathe.
Okay, so you can stop. That was great. Now, how many of you already feel a little bit looser, straighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next exercise is called cross crawl, and we do that standing up, and you can have some rhythmic music that will help, and we'll do several movements. Some of you may have already experienced that because cross crawl has been being adopted in many different modalities now, which is a sign of progress. So we cross the midline by touching the hand to the opposite knee like this. So we'll do several repetitions of that. So cross crawl is my lifesaver. I recommend that you do it all throughout the day like I do, because it helps with everything. It's an exercise that organizes your right and left brain to work together.
Oh, look at that. That's a good piece of information.
Yes, and I'll tell you more in a second. So let's change directions, because the principle is opposite arm and leg, but we can do it also side to side. So extend opposite arm and leg to the side, bring it to the center, and then extend the other diagonal, and we'll do a few of these. Great.
No more muffins.
And those of you who
Love Heaven's gone.
are dinosaurs like me, you can remember John Travolta.
Hey! Hey!
Sorry, wrong same side.
Your brain is not connected.
Yeah, my brain's not connected.
Me too.
Stop, you know, look back.
Okay.
Where's the rhythm?
And that's
Where's
great.
the rhythm? Dale.
And that's third variation is touching your heel behind your back. So, like this.
What's that?
Make sure you have enough room behind you. And we'll just do a few of these. Allow your arms to swing rather than carry them.
Yes.
Feels good.
Wobble, wobble, but we don't fall down.
Pretty much.
So,
Why are you filming me?
Come on, guys. Left brain, right brain connection.
You gotta make film your left right
Very good.
connection.
Okay. Thank you.
Mine's not working.
So, how do you feel right now? How many?
Awesome. Woo!
Thank you. The hand was for you because you did a great job. So
Aww.
thank you for being such great participants. Now, let's repeat your activity and role play the same thing you just role played a moment ago, and observe how it feels now compared to the first time.
Brainstorming?
No, I'm giving you stuff.
Let's see.
Just based on the conversation, I'll do this and that.
Right.
I don't like repeating myself.
I noticed.
So 1, 2, 3.
Everything looks really
Put
good.
that in place and then do it.
Now, question for you.
So how many of you feel a difference? How many of you feel that it's easier?
Wow,
Yeah.
a little more clarity.
More clarity, right?
Yeah.
So here are the 2 tools I promised that I'm going to give you to end procrastination. There are more, of course, but these 2 exercises are part of the sequence I call the brain optimizing sequence I call the implementation wizard, which is going to help you move into implementation. So just doing these 2 exercises, you can at any time in a matter of minutes move forward with something that you feel like, well, I don't really feel like doing that. But you can do these movements and you will start doing it automatically.
Awesome.
How's that?
Great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So, this is the power of the new learning paradigm. So remember, if you want to use your mind, change your mind, and change your mindset, engage your body, and preferably in very specific and targeted ways that don't take a lot of time, but give you immediate results. How many of you like immediate results? Me too. I really don't like lengthy processes. Even though in some ways I'm a process person, I love process, but I also like results. So one of the challenges that I observe in the common learning paradigm is that if you want to develop a new behavior, you need to rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it, and you're never sure whether it's going to be there, right? Because when you need it most, sometimes it fails. Like you promise yourself, I'll never get into road rage again, and then all of a sudden someone cuts you off and you're like, these people. Right? So I love these techniques because they are a shortcut to developing a new behavior and a new habit. There are, of course, many more, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But what I love about these techniques is they organize you from within, so you spontaneously do something that you are working on without much effort. As a matter of fact, some of my clients said that it's so easy, I didn't think it was working, even though their behaviors changed completely. And one client said, I think you should give your clients more homework because this way people will know that they are working hard and they are getting some results. That's why, because people are so used to working hard, that it's hard to accept that you can do something so silly and so easy that experience some results right away. So, but I love that about this technique because why struggle when you can do some silly movements and get on with your day? So I promised that I was going to give you some opportunity to work with me after the presentation. And so, first of all, you have the understandings, right? Because now you have the understanding that working in the common learning paradigm is ineffective. Information is great. There's nothing wrong with information, and we need information. But, thank you, the common learning paradigm does not give you tools to implement that information effectively. So, the new understanding is that new learning paradigm will give you those tools, and the specific method to do that is to engage your body in those very specific ways. Oh, and that reminds me of that woman attorney I mentioned in the beginning. So she used the implementation wizard sequence and a couple of other ones, and she was shocked by the results. And I was even shocked because some people are just, they are just transcend everybody. And she said it was totally life-changing. She said that her productivity shot up by 50%. She was saving a lot of time. She was not wasting time on hesitation, being indecisive, and not being able to ask for help when she needed. And you can all have those kind of results when I share with you some of the opportunities you may have to learn some of this stuff. So is it okay with you if I share with you and invite you to participate with me in a deeper way?
Yes.
Thank you. So you have cards in front of you that you can fill out. And if you send me that, if you give me that card, you can fill that card out and give it to Cheryl. And if you fill out that card, I'm going to send you a handout with the two exercises we did today and explanation about why they work. And I'm also going to send you a new thing that you haven't seen before. There's a chart I call Think Before Doing. It's a chart that makes prioritization a lot easier. It's very simple, and it will come with instructions about how to use it. And again, the instructions are very simple. Because I know that many people are stuck on prioritization. Like people have these long lists, and it's like, where do I start? I don't know. So this will help you prioritize. And also, On behalf of this conference, I carved out a few slots for individual consultations, so you can have an opportunity to have a results accelerator exploration call with me. So I call it results accelerator because that's what it does. It accelerates results. And the exploration call is going to allow me to discuss with you where you are in your business, what's working, what's not working, how we get things to work, and to identify time thieves that are undermining your productivity so you can have some specific results from the call. So if you fill out that card, you'll have an opportunity to have this free call with me. That's about 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, that'll be great. I'll be looking forward to talking to you. And again, as I mentioned from my clients, some people say it's a life-changing work. I know it's a life-changing for me, and I've seen that over and over again with all these hundreds and thousands of people who've been working with me. So I invite you to fill out this card. There is no cost, it's all free. But I also invite you to a paid offer. Is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you. So there is a program I created specifically for this event. And that means when I can find my right sheet. So I'll be delighted to invite you to the new program I created specifically for this event, which is the Results Accelerator Bootcamp. And it's for you if you're willing to let go of the common learning paradigm and embrace the new learning paradigm. And how many of you want to prioritize effortlessly?
Woo!
Eliminate distractions and eliminate procrastination
I'm not a procrastinator.
and create personalized schedule that you know is going to work for you, right? Because one of the things I've observed is that many experts say that the way to organize your day, the way to be productive is to do this and this and that. Like work at 90-minute periods and then take half an hour break. And then do another 90 minutes on something else. Many of my clients are more right brain and they cringe at something like that. So I teach them how to, or I give them tools to create their own schedule that will work for them. For instance, one of my clients needs to take a lot of time in the morning to organize herself with particular nutrition and exercise and something like that. And she also likes to talk on the phone to her friends. If that works for her, then fantastic. Then she can get that out of the way and be productive for the rest of the day. She doesn't have to start coming out of bed and getting right into doing something for work. So I will help you organize your schedule in such a way that will work for you. And you then will be able to follow it because it will be your schedule. And you will also have tools to modify it if you think that it's not going to, there's some places that it's not working. Also, as an entrepreneur, very often you have a different schedule each day because you have different activities. So it's not like you have to be 9 to 5 on a regular schedule as if you're going to work. So when you have these tools to organize your schedule, you can organize each day as you need it, rather than having a rigid formula that this is how you're going to work. So how does that sound?
Awesome.
Beautiful.
I'm all for individualization, right? Because we are all individual. And I want to support you in being productive. So you don't have to do it alone because in this program, I'll be working with you. It's going to consist of 8 weekly calls of an hour and a half, where we are going to explore and deeply dive into 8 principles of productivity and doing these things that I was talking about, which is we're going to learn the implementation wizard, the whole sequence. How many of you are overwhelmed with reading? Anybody? How many of you forget what you read or you have to reread things? So this program will include a 7-minute reading wizard, which is going to help you organize your eyes, be focused, increase your reading speed so you can zip through your reading and cut down on your information overload. Sounds good?
Yes.
As Bert was saying, we all have emotional baggage. right? So how many of you would like to have some new tools to get rid of the baggage?
Yes.
That will be included in the course as well. This is one of the things actually that my second specialty or my concurrent specialty. I specialize in working with emotions in a new way and developing emotional intelligence and communication skills. So some of those tools will be included in this accelerator bootcamp.
Awesome.
All right.
So you can imagine how differently your life is going to work when you can immediately eliminate all the obstacles that are holding you back from being productive. And you'll have more time with your family. You'll have more time to focus on how you're going to move forward and make money. So that actually brings me to two common concerns that people have when they enroll in programs, which is it's going to take up too much time, or I don't have time because I already participate in other programs. So I have good news for you. These tools help you get more out of any program you're going to be in or you're in currently, because they help you organize and implement your information, and they help you organize your brain for learning in general. So whether you're learning what I'm teaching you, or you're learning something that Oral is teaching you, or learning something that Bert is teaching you, you'll have the tools to absorb it faster and implement it. So once you invest the time in learning these skills, and you just experience they're very simple, you will be able to use them for anything at all. And I use them every day myself, because why not use the good stuff that I have, right? So I use them every day to organize myself for the day. And I also use them when I get stuck, because how many of you have this issue that you do some intense activity outside of the house and you come home and you're kind of lost, you know, you have a bunch of things to do, but it's like the intensity is gone, I'm not sure what I'm going to do now, right? So I use these exercises for transitions when I need to reorganize myself to do something, and you'll be able to do that as well. They are very practical, and again, like experience, they take minutes. So let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you. Right, so that was about overcoming the concerns about time. So this is going to take only a small investment of time to learn these activities, and then you're going to be able to use them for everything else to actually cut down on the time it takes you to learn or implement. The most other common concern is, of course, is money. So first of all, I'm going to also share with you a money resource a little bit later, but this program is going to help you free up your time so you can focus on making money. So it's not going to be a drain on your money. Plus, it's not very expensive. So, so I think this is the time for passing around the registration forms. So Cheryl is going to do that. And I'm going to tell you about what's involved. So the Results Accelerator Bootcamp, 8 weeks of the one and a half hour calls with me personally, delving into issues of productivity that are holding you back. It's $697, and it's totally worth it all by itself. But I thought I want to add some more value to make sure that you are 100% or 150% sure that this is the right program for you. So it will also include, for each participant, 2 30-minute personalized phone calls with me to help you get more out of the program. And of course, I want to give you bonuses. So the bonuses that will help you and enhance your ability to work with this program is, 1, my online course, The Art of Getting Things Done, because the beauty of the online course, as you know, is that you can work with it on your own pace. So to support yourself in between our phone calls, or to review some information we are covering, you will be able to have access to this course, which is 6 modules, and it also sells for $497. And as I mentioned when I talked about money, I want to give you another resource about money, because I think you know that we all have blockages about money. I have worked on that many times because I've taught this course live for a number of years. And every time I taught it, I also worked on it myself, and there was always something to release. So we had a lot of negative conditioning about money, and this course will not only help you let go of the negative conditioning, but also create a better relationship with money and address some other factors that are undermining your success. And it includes modules that allow you to position yourself as an expert so you can actually charge the money that you want to be charging. And that course is 8 modules, and it's called Money Magnet Mindset, and it's also priced at $497. So the monetary value of this package is, as you can see, $21.91. And it's all for the $697. You can pay in full, and the registration forms also have an option of a prepay. But I also want to give you one more bonus, which is that you can bring a friend for half price. So when I tell people what I do, that I work with entrepreneurs to overcome productivity challenges, procrastination, distraction, and overwhelm, everybody says like, oh, everybody needs that. I know so many people who need that. So there's a possibility that you have friends, acquaintances, business partners, and other people in your life who can use this program as well. And if they register with you, they will be able to attend for half price, and they will also get all the bonuses. So the registration form has that option as well, and there is a prepay option for the program alone, and there is also a prepay option for registering with a friend. So I encourage you to join me in this exciting program. I'll be so happy to have an opportunity to work with you for 8 weeks. And I can guarantee you that after those 8 weeks, your productivity will be much higher, at least 50%, and oftentimes it's even higher than that. One participant of my previous program, just the art of getting things done, said that when we came to the tools for reducing emotional stress, she said that she didn't realize that the stress was in her body. She thought she was okay, except she was getting anxious. And by using these tools that were in the program, she was able to cut down on her anxiety and also become more aware the times when she was starting to get anxious before it became like a full-blown syndrome. So you will have these tools, and they will work for you every time. So as I said, you don't have to do it alone. I'll be happy to work with you. I love working with people. I love seeing the results, and I love supporting you in what you do. And I will love supporting your friends as well. So, and if you know that you're ready to enroll, I want you to pay attention because I'm going to announce a new bonus that usually makes people really run for the back table to register. So the first 3 people who register will have a full 1-hour consultation with me personally, also that deep dive to your productivity, and we'll be able to identify where you're losing time, where you're losing energy, where you're losing money, and give you some tools from the new learning paradigm to optimize your brain so that you can get back on track. So this is for the first 3 people who register, and if you're ready to hand in your registration forms, you can give them to Cheryl, and I'll be, in a moment, I'll be in the back.
Thank you.
Talking to you and answering questions. And I could have danced all night.
Very good.
And you need to dance all night.
Yes.
You work with me and get your results out.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
10 things at least.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right? That's 10 things, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, nice work.
Thank you, Arlene.
Awesome. Give it up for Paula. All right. So when we go for lunch, before I introduce our next speaker, before we go for lunch, you will have to see Sherry.